gauges out there?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
How about if you do one team and I'll do the other?
Yeah, let's already happening? Thank you so much.
ทีม National Wheelchair Basketball Federation Women Under 25 World Championship 2019 between United States of America and Japan. Team USA player number 1, Alexandra Ibanez. 7, Josie Asbasan. 8, Gabriel Valente. 20, Miley Yogal. 50, Joseph Holland. 20, Angelina Rosso. 22, Elizabeth Baker. 23, Angel Yakin. 24, Lindsay Server. 34, Emily Overs. 43, Miley Moody. And 54, Inhale Gonzalez. Coach Cooper Yamada, assistant coach Melanie Valdez. Team Japan player. Number 2, Usumi Saima. Number 4, Amane Yamashiro. Number 6, Jimmy Yoshioka. 7, Ryoko Kono. 10, Honoru Kasaoka. 11, Yuri Iguchi. 12, Yuri Bottleneck Music, 27 Nina Orukawat, 31 Norway Kanekeyama, 51 Hanato Yamasaki, Coach Erika Yamasaki, and Assistant Coach Erika Yoshida. Please stand up for University of Africa National Anthem and Japan National Anthem. คุณชิปชีชิเซียว from Taipei อัมพายวันรัตชาโอลนก from Russia อัมพายทูเซลีนบิลเลีย from France and Commissioner Natalie Van from Netherlands.
All right, we are here live at the third U25 Women's Wheelchair Basketball World Championships. My name is Vanessa Erskine, and I'm here with Will Waller, two-time Paralympian from the 2000 and 2012 Paralympic Games with the USA men's team, as well as many World Championships and other international tournaments under your belt. How do you feel like the game has evolved, and what does it feel like to be here watching these young ladies right now?
Well, first of all, I'm thrilled to be here supporting the under 25 USA team. And more importantly, all of the ladies from around the world who are competing for the 8 teams that are represented here. As far as the game evolving over the years, I think that we've moved away from the traditional focus on having multiple bigs and multiple low pointers on the court at the same time, and we find many more teams that are leveraging their versatility and speed with midpoint classification lineups being the primary focus.
And I think you can really see that with these teams, both Japan and USA, these young teams here. USA running with some 3-5s and some 2-5s, as well as a 1-pointer. And then Japan also, they have some incredible mid-pointers with their team, running with number 4 from Japan, who is a 2-5. And she's been dominating this game so far, as we've seen. Second leading top scorer of this tournament. And do you want to go off with the USA starting 5?
It's a case in point, isn't it, of that exact point, that we're going to see a lot of great midpoint play, and certainly there's going to be some other classifications that get mixed in. And to actually be here representing your country, you have to be a good player, whether you're at the first slot on the roster or all the way down to number 12. But yeah, the starting lineup that Coach Johnson is going with is number 7, Josie Alaskan. She's a 1.0. Abigail Duncan, who's had a very strong tournament. She's a 3.5. Rose Hollerman and Abby are both co-captains of this team. Rose is a 3.5. And then we have Ali Ibanez and then Lindsay Zerbrug, who are both having a really good tournament. Both come in at a 2.5.
And then for Japan, they'll be starting off with number 2, Izomi, number 6, Kimi, number 10, Hotaru, number 51, Kanakao, and also number 4, Amane. And yeah, like you said, with the starting 5 of the U.S. team, they actually have quite a few, or quite a lot of experience for some of the girls in this tournament. You have both Hollerman and Duncan with Paralympics under their belts. Hollerman with 2 Paralympics under her belt, and the majority of this team actually we saw at the 2018 World Championships last year in Hamburg.
Absolutely right. I think the U.S. team is very heavy with youth. But when you then translate into an under 25, we seem to have a very experienced group of ladies who are here. So excited to see what they can do against a very strong Japan team.
Yeah, and some of the experience, just looking at it, we have Hollerman. I asked her before the game. She's been playing for 16 years, wheelchair basketball. And some of these girls on the Japanese team have only been playing for a year and a half. So shows a little bit of a difference comparison. Actually, the least amount of years that a player's been playing for the U.S. team is 5. So
yeah, I think that's a great acknowledgement of the junior division in the U.S., where we have kids starting out as young as 5 or 6 years old. 85 youth teams throughout the U.S., so we get the benefit here at a tournament like under 25 to have kids with great experience.
It is. I'm expecting a very fast-paced game coming out of this. We saw the USA pressing earlier in the tournament with kind of a wall set press, not a hard man-on-man press, but setting up a wall. And Japan has also been known for their speed and chair skills, so I think we're in for a very good game.
Yeah, there's going to be pressure one way or the other, however they formulate it.
USA coming away with the tip there.
Abby Duncan with a great pass down low to Ali Ibanez, who ended up breaking free off of a nice pick on the wing.
Ibanez being one of those players we saw for the first time last year at World Championships, getting some valuable court time there.
Yeah, she absolutely has very quickly turned into an impact player for USA.
Great dish down there, just coming up short.
Help defense came over on the wing after we made a hard jump on the strong shooters for Japan, but there was a quick rotation back to the center, which disrupted that shot. Hollerman with a mismatch down low. Zerbrug didn't see it in time.
Great ball swing there by the USA.
Rose Hollerman with the shot on the wing, hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
Oh yeah, I think that she is a player that you're going to have to start getting out on, and that's really going to start opening up the key for USA, and they're going to start getting those easy layups.
What they're counting on is they're going to do some of these jumps, and that is going to lead to some 2-on-1 opportunities for USA.
And I know with the amount of shooting workouts that they do, that they can knock down those layups and those shots easily.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Abby Duncan brings the ball up in the center. Rose Hollerman with a one-on-one move into the paint. Perfect pass by Duncan, and Hollerman with another 2 underneath.
She is someone that we have seen have a very early presence for USA in every game so far this tournament.
And she's had great starts to her games. First quarter, typically Rose has come out with a solid offensive performance.
Yeah, and just with 23 years old, she is quite the presence on the court for USA.
Absolutely.
Not even just with this under-25 team, but with the national team.
And Amani for the Japanese comes through with a great 16 to 18-footer on the right wing. Beautiful shot. Abby Duncan, Hollerman drives to the lane again. Triple team this time. Unfazed by the triple team, puts the ball up and in.
And USA does have a little bit of a height advantage right now against the Japanese, so it'll be interesting whether Japan ends up switching to a little bit of a taller lineup here soon.
Yeah, and the player goes down for Japan. They end up getting a fast break.
Loose ball. Hollerman able to come up with it. Ref
The
called a
official
player down.
stops the play because the player's down during a dead moment of the play. When the opposition has the ball and there's a dead moment, they give them an opportunity to get right back up. Most players can get themselves up at this level. Abby Duncan, very deliberate once again, brings the ball to the top of the key, swings it down low to Hollerman, who's having zero issues getting inside. Hollerman having a fantastic performance thus far for USA. She's got herself 6 points already in the tournament with just 2.5 minutes in the game with just 2.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, and Hollerman and Duncan, both being players that play together year-round. They play with each other at UTA. They both just graduated this year, and then they've also been on USA teams together for quite a few years now. So players that are really kind of in the same mindset, on the same wavelength on the court.
Can anticipate what the other individual is going to do almost before they do it, having that much experience with one another. Ball's being triggered by Azumi.
As Laskin getting the steal.
Yeah, that's Laskin, yep. Rose Hollerman on the one-on-none break. And another two-pointer, registering her 7th and 8th points of the game. Leads all scorers, doing a fantastic job setting the tone for Team USA.
Oh, yeah, forcing a timeout for by Team Japan right now. I think they're going to you got to try and do something right now. If you were the coach, what advice would you be giving your players?
Well, I would basically be telling these players to focus on getting their big wheel on the big wheel of the offensive player. And sometimes these individuals can be worried about the person who's doing the damage, which is Hollerman. But oftentimes at this level, you've got a great picker and or sealer who's just creating a little bit of movement and a seal to get that player in. In this case, Hollerman doesn't need much help. So she's basically putting a flash move on these individuals. And so what I'd be saying as well is try to look at their hips, and wherever their hips go is where the chair's going to go. Don't pay attention to her head fakes or her shoulder fakes, and try to lock her down, which is not an easy task. The other thing you could do is say, hey, if you're not guarding Hollerman and you're in that area, shade over and let's force someone else to hit some shots.
Yeah, kind of almost play her with 2 or even 1.5. Just have someone being a backup there, covering someone's back, so the person defending her can worry about the front and know that their back's going to be covered by their teammate.
Exactly right. USA putting a full court press on, putting pressure up farther on the court. They started with 3 up. Now there's 5 up. Japan with the ball. Rose Hollerman tying her up. Officials not calling a jump ball. Hollerman grabs it from them. Duncan made a flash move, but fouled before that, calling the player-controlled foul on Hollerman. Could have gone either way.
We're going to see USA now applying a man-on-man press here.
Coach Johnson doing a good job confusing the Japanese team by changing up the reads on defense. Not sure how many are going to be up, so it looks like they're alternating at a minimum.
And that was a ball off of number 4, Amani's chair. Will be USA ball. As we see,
again, zero help for the Japanese player, and Hollerman puts another 2 in. I guess they didn't talk about the help defense in that timeout.
I'm guessing, but I think they should in the next one.
Correct. This has been really the tale of the USA team throughout the tournament, putting pressure on and establishing an early lead.
Japan getting a little bit hectic here. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Amani getting a shot up in the last second.
Ibanez with the rebound. Hollerman breaking out. First person down. Gets the ball, establishes with a nice pivot, puts it up, puts it in. Rose Hollerman with an absolute scoring clinic here in Suvarnabhumi, Thailand.
Yeah, that is a display of great chair control there by Hollerman.
Now, sometimes we have players who are going down, leading the pack like that, and don't use a bounce stop, don't slow down, and oftentimes end up having a control issue. But she's just too much of a veteran to allow that to happen.
And that was a foul on Ali Ibanez, number 1. That is her first personal foul, second team foul for USA.
You see a display of sportsmanship here. Abby Duncan helping the Japanese player, number 10, Hotaru Tatsuaka, get off of the floor. They're fierce competitors, but they're also great sports people.
And USA doing a great job of using their dead time here, not stopping with the stop of the call, or with the stop of play, not stopping playing, continuing to press even when it was a dead ball.
Absolutely. You've got some ball movement going on with Japan, but tough pressure by USA, forcing shots from as far out as possible. Shot clock winding down again.
That is going to be a foul on number 23, Abigail Duncan.
She tried to get through a tight spot there, and unfortunately the front of her chair ended up hooking the back wheel. That's a relatively easy call for the officials. Third foul on USA.
And now when you're looking at the scoring spread right now, we have Hollerman currently with 14 points with just 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and as I said, although this is her highest point total in a first quarter, she's been hot every first quarter, setting the tone for USA. Abby Duncan with a beautiful pass to Hollerman from just about half court. Hit her right at the top of her reach. Unfortunately, the baseline official felt that Hollerman was in the key for too long. 3-second violation.
USA immediately going into a full court pressure here.
Zerbrug guarding number 6 from Japan on the wing, Kimi Yoshiaka. Yoshiaka to number 4, Amane. Amane rolling into the left wing. Shot clock winding down. Amane puts it up under duress.
That will be a shot clock violation. The ball never hit the rim of the basket. It went off the backboard, so it will be USA ball at the sideline.
Abby Duncan continues to run the point for USA. Very deliberate set here. We're going to see what USA runs in the half court. This will at least give Japan a chance to get set up. Does not matter to Hollerman, however. She puts another 2 in with the bump. Number 6, Kimi Yoshiaka fouls her down low with the chair, and Hollerman, unfazed by the contact, puts it in for her 13th and 14th points.
And that will be her first personal foul, first team foul for Japan. Hollerman with the opportunity for the and one play here, 3-point play.
Hollerman showing why she's one of the best players in the world. She's clearly one of the best here at this tournament, but she plays just as well on the senior team and on the senior level in major competition.
Yeah, we saw her in the starting 5 of the Rio 2016 Paralympics, and she had a great display there alongside some very experienced teammates of what she is ready to do at such a young age.
Yeah, it's very impressive. USA pressure yet again, forcing a turnover for Japan, and another turnover will give USA the ball on the right wing. Abby Duncan triggers the ball to Hollerman. Hollerman back to Duncan. Duncan with the ball, swings it over to Zerbrug. Zerbrug to Hollerman, who goes in uncontested, and a rare miss for Hollerman.
Ibanez with the offensive rebound, able to put it back up.
Ibanez, couple shots missed. USA 4 misses in a row on that one. Japan finally gets a break on the defensive end.
Great job by Zerbrug there, slowing down the ball. Japan player does end up on the floor. Play will be stopped.
17 seconds on the clock, Vanessa. That'll give Japan 1 more second to get it over.
If I was USA, I would be up pressuring right now.
And it's almost as though they heard you.
And here they come.
Zerbrug fronting number 51. Hollerman trying to front number 2, forcing another tough pass.
Is Laskin coming away? Class 1 getting the steals here in this game.
Yeah, we've got everyone contributing top to bottom. Hollerman goes in. You can't stop her. You can only hope to contain her. Rose Hollerman.
USA doing a great job of remaining composure and keeping their rhythm. It's oftentimes really easy for you to be able to follow the energy of the other team, especially when it starts getting hectic, and they're doing a great job remaining calm and composed.
It's about time for another timeout for Japan. They've got to make an adjustment. You can also look to see if Coach Trooper Johnson pulls off the press here, given the gap that they've created.
23-2 for USA. Hollerman currently with 19 points of the 23.
Coming into the game for Rose Hollerman, Bailey Moody, who's had her own offensive performance that has gone very well for her.
Yeah, she's a player that we saw make her first national team last year at the 2018 World Championships, and she has definitely flourished as a player in a very short amount of time.
Number 4 with the ball on the wing for Japan, Amane, trying to get some space, puts it off the glass, just short. That's the result of all of this pressure that USA is putting on them full court. It's going to make these arms a little heavier as the game goes on.
Duncan finding Ibanez under the basket, and good for 2 points.
Ibanez, her third or fourth try with the basket underneath the hoop. So USA really showing what one of their greatest strengths is, which is that they've got threats up and down the lineup and really up and down the roster if you think about it. Ibanez hasn't been on the Team USA scene for very long, but she's already turned out to be a very strong competitor and making her mark.
Yeah, she's actually been playing for 5 years total. She's currently playing at the University of Illinois under Steph Wheeler, who is the former 2016 Rio Paralympic head coach, as well as USA women's national team player for quite a while. She came away with gold in 2008, I believe. So she's getting some great experience learning from her, and we saw her for the first time at the world stage last year as well, and I think that was a great experience for her, getting to compete against some of the best in the world right away.
Absolutely, and one of the things that I've noticed about her is her defensive capability. So the offense is an added bonus, but on the defensive end, she's really good with her chair, really quick, and makes good reads.
And she has deceptively long arms, too, so she can finish some layups and get some steals that some players don't exactly expect.
Izumi engaging with the ball, swings it over to Amani on the right wing, and Amani, an unforced turnover, drops the ball off of her, the front of her frame, and had a look of disgust on her face as she went back. And to add insult to injury, Ibanez picks her up with a back pick.
She's able to recover back into defense, but I think Japan just running a little bit hectic here, making some mistakes that isn't very much like them, and kind of getting into their own heads. And Duncan from outside now for 2 points. She's coming from the AB game, so she has that beautiful shot.
Great form. And one of the things I liked about that play is you saw the ball swing through the top and then from side to side. Amane with a 3, just long. Rebound to USA. More of a deliberate set here by Alaxon. Josie passes the ball over to Abby Duncan on the wing. She just hit one. They jumped her. She can go into the 2-man game here if she chooses. But
able to get her own rebounds.
Yeah. So if you're the Japanese coach, you're going to employ your team on the next dead ball to go for the body, then the ball. You need a better box out if you're going to get these few misses from USA.
Yeah, something you can't do is allow them to get those extra chance points.
31 subbing into the game, Moe Hatakeyama. Coming into the game for number 7, Miwako Kano.
And she's only been playing for a year and a half, so she's rather new to the game, but she's also in a very great developmental program. So she's able to learn from some of these great Japanese players we see in their junior teams, under 25 team, as well as their senior national team.
Great tacticianers of the game, the Japanese are.
They are known for their speed and their execution and their chair skills.
Absolutely. They play very well as a unit. What they're going to want to do is take advantage of the fact that Hollerman is out of the game. Amane for 3, just short. Abby Duncan with the rebound. Number 23 for Team USA has been running the point for the full first quarter. We've got 45 seconds on the clock. Abby Duncan swings the ball over to Zerbrug. Zerbrug from the wing. just long. Rebound to Japan. Tried to thread the needle.
As Laskin coming away with the ball, a little bit of a bounce around there, but
It's
USA
asking
able
a lot
to recover.
to get it between three players. Abby Duncan full court break with the drive. The two puts it in. 13 seconds on the clock. Japan with the ball.
Great help there by Duncan getting Zerbrug back in on defense.
Izumi with the ball. Back over to the wing, the number 3 to number 31. Gets it rejected. USA with a very strong first quarter performance.
Yeah, that is going to end the first quarter for us. USA currently with 31-2. So Japan only getting one basket this whole quarter. That's pretty incredible, actually. I was expecting it to be a little bit closer. I thought Japan would be able to handle the press of USA since we're so used to seeing Japan being able to press as well.
Well, hopefully they will be able to make some adjustments. The coach will have a couple minutes here to talk to the team and really put together one or two key priorities for what they're going to do differently. And to me, it has to start on the defensive end. Offense can come as a result of good defense. But you know what? This host organization here in Subanpuri, Thailand, has been incredible. And tournaments like this are only possible with the help of sponsors. So some of those sponsors are the Sport Authority of Thailand, the Nation Sports Development Fund, the Sports Association for the Disabled of Thailand under the royal patronage of His Majesty the King, the Supanburi Province, Sport Association for Wheelchair Basketball Thailand, Football Thailand Factory Sporting Goods Company, Boon Rod Brewery Company, Molten Company, Sifa Company, Bangkok Mass Transit Authority has been getting the players to and from the gymnasium, doing a fantastic job. And the IWBF is the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation. They've put in an incredible amount of work in partnership with the LOC, and all of their preparation shows, because from my perspective, everything's gone flawlessly for these players to focus on what they need to focus on, which is competing.
Oh, I completely agree. This tournament has been super well run so far. I've been incredibly happy with how everything has been. Even the people that are here as volunteers have been amazing and super helpful. Just a flawlessly run tournament, and I think it's quite often overlooked at how much really goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, if the players only knew, the level of gratitude if you could imagine it, would be even greater. But one other point I'd like to make about Thailand is just the hospitality of the people, and not just the hospitality, but the warm personalities that they greet everybody with. Great culture here for all of these athletes to experience.
Truly is the land of smiles.
Correct. Ball reversal by Japan. Poor pass. Zerbrug picks it off. Number 24 for USA brings it up the court. Pick on the wing.
And we actually have some subs on the court now. Abigail Duncan is off the court. Rose Hollerman back on. And we're seeing Nina Welfy, number 20, on the court for the first time. And Ali Abanya is currently being pulled off. Coach Trooper Johnson has been doing a great job rotating his players.
Well, one thing that is clear is that development is a focus of all of these countries who sent the team here. Team USA, no exception. Josie Alaskan put great pressure out on the wing there and disrupted that shot. Hollerman, number 15, brings the ball up on the left side. Finally, a Japanese defender gets her, which leaves Bailey Moody open up on the low block for a lefty layup. The southpaw puts in her first two of the game. Ball on the wing, Amane drops it into number 10, Hotaru.
She's going to kick it back out.
Zooming over to Amani. Shot clock winding down again. Scoop layup by number 51, Kanako Yamasaki, but unfortunately does not go. She fell down on the play. Official stops the play. Hollerman now with the entry pass to Josie Alaskan. Two moving lady Mavs from the University of Texas, Arlington. Alaskan over to Zerbrug. Ball swung through the top, back over to Hollerman. Two-man game.
Great steal there by Josie Alaskan, getting Hollerman a 6-foot shot there from the middle of the key.
What was nice about that is that they had the two-man game. The Japanese shut it down, and then the next progression was the seal from the point. So it shows just great teamwork and being in sync by the U.S. team.
And Laskin and Hollerman being players that have played together for 10 years now. They started in the Minnesota program at their hometowns and then ended up going to college together at UTA. Laskin made her first national team in 2017, so now they've been at the world stage for 3 years, and they're also players that are on the same wavelength.
Absolutely. Number 6 for Japan, Kimi Yoshiaka, does an incredible job swishing that one right off the glass. Just a gentle kiss of the backboard.
Getting her first 2 points of the game.
Offense going through Hollerman on the left wing. Hollerman, no jump. Hollerman up and down for another 2. Rose
Japan
Hollerman.
has got to jump that.
If I'm Japan, I want anyone to beat me but Hollerman. She's not having any difficulty doing it on her own, so you want to get someone else involved. Amane with the pass over to number 6. Kimi with another shot. She tried to hit 2 in a row. That one didn't go. Hollerman with the up-tempo fast break. Hollerman, patient, surveys the court, dishes over to Zerbrug. Zerbrug with the ball. It's up. It's down. USA firing on all cylinders. Tough decisions to make if you're Japan. Who do you decide to guard?
Zerbrug being backpicked right now. Japan searching for an outlet, releasing, but Zerbrug coming in with speed. As Laskin getting another steal there. A little bit of a careless pass there by Japan.
Yeah, so if you followed the stat line, you wouldn't see Azlaxon scoring a lot of shots, but she's certainly making a difference in a lot of other ways. We saw earlier the seal play that she set for Hollerman, and we saw there that she was jumping the passing lane and got a steal.
She's a very smart player and definitely has great court vision. And once again, as like most of these girls, very new to the international court, so we can expect it only to improve with a couple of years to come.
Absolutely, and I think regardless of where you're at in the world, the low pointers have to be some of the smarter players on the court. And although they may not make a lot of individual plays, a lot of fancy plays, but they're usually making the heady plays using a very high basketball IQ.
Like you said earlier, it's not always necessarily the person getting the points, but usually that can often lead because of a good pick or a great seal or a good block somewhere else on the court from another player.
Absolutely. USA continuing to put on a clinic, led by their co-captain, Rose Hollerman. Great help defense by USA. Saw the rotation on defense. Japan did a great job of moving the ball as well. Unfortunately, the shot just did not go in.
And I think that's something we missed a little bit from the Japan offense earlier in the first quarter. I think they didn't do a great job with their ball movement. It seemed like they ended up with 3 to 4 players on one side, often overcrowding, leaving another side totally wide open. I think they need to really start attacking some of the weaker defenders of USA with some speed or getting some more ball movement in, which they are doing better in the second quarter.
And at a minimum, you got to get the defenders to turn their head. The best way to get them to turn their head is by passing the ball. That's going to create lanes for this Japanese team.
And often that's when you want to attack the non-ball side because those players could, like you said, be watching that ball on the pass.
Yep. Shot clock winding down. This time Zerbrug under duress. Ends up coming up short. Fast break for Japan. Rare fast break for Japan. Number 51, Kanako Yamasaki, goes in for the fast break and ends up getting hit by Rose Hollerman, who recovered on D. Just too late.
And that is going to be called an unsportsmanlike foul on Hollerman.
Yeah, Hollerman thinks she was just playing aggressive D, trying to catch her from behind, and the officials felt that she got clipped from behind, which can be dangerous in this game.
Definitely. That's often how players end up spinning out and can actually severely hurt themselves when falling to the ground.
If I'm Kanako Yamasaki, I'm going to take my time on this free throw attempt. This is one way that a player can get going. You get a freebie here at the free throw line, and this is a time to really go through your form, put it up, and put it in. She hit nothing but the bottom of the net on that free throw. Let's see if that can accelerate her performance on the offensive end. It was great to see them get out on a rare fast break.
And since it was an unsportsmanlike foul, Japan will have the ball at the sideline.
2 in the ball. Anytime there's an unsportsmanlike, great help defense, great rotation by Japan. Unfortunately, the shot was off, but that was really good execution, Vanessa.
That was. And we are going to see some new players coming on the court here, checking in. We're going to have Emily Oberst, Ixel Gonzalez, as well as Elizabeth Becker.
Yep, and Hollerman just went baseline. You never want to give up baseline, but she got there anyway and put in another two on the baseline drive. Amane with the ball, swings it over to the wing to Yamasaki. Yamasaki with the ball, puts it up. Tough angle.
Buried pretty low there.
Tough angle on that shot. Hollerman with the ball. Japan doing a good job of getting back on Hollerman's side. Let's see if they can force the pass. But if you're Hollerman, why would you even consider passing the ball? Whatever she throws up, she throws in.
And Japan just not really jumping her right now. They kind of did a soft yo-yo there, but they've really got to get out and get on her shooting hands.
But I have to tell you, considering how many points she's got in the paint, I'd at least want her to shoot it from the outside. 16 to a 17-footer there. And unfortunately for Japan, she still put it in. But if you're going to give up anything, make it an outside shot.
And personally, I think I would have tried to make it from the other side because you had a power side with Bailey Moody in the dive for Rose Hollerman. But then on the off side, you had Josie Laskin with Zerbrug behind her. And we haven't seen Zerbrug be able to really find her rhythm yet in this game.
Rose Hollerman, 31 points in just over 15 minutes of play. It's got to be some type of a record for the Under-25 Women's World Championship. Ball rotation for Japan, and number 2 Izumi Zaima puts the ball into the hole. Great sign if you're Japan that you've got someone else getting some points on the board. As Laxton passes the ball to Oberst. Oberst with the ball reversal to Zerbrug and back to Oberst. Under 10 seconds on the clock. Oberst with one more over to Zerbrug. 2-man game getting started. Zerbrug creates enough space where she forced the defender to jump. They didn't want to give up the inside move by Gonzalez. Left Zerbrug open. She ends up putting it in for her 4th point of the game.
And Gonzalez is a player that we've seen in this tournament performing incredibly well. And this is her first time playing at the international stage.
Miwako Kano with the ball. Gets the ball reversal over to Amane. Amane with the wide open look. Just short. That's a great read for Amane. She's a really good scorer. She's had a great tournament to date. Unfortunately, the ball not dropping in the most important game for Japan in this tournament. Zerbrug with the ball. Just hit the last wing shot from the other side. Gets it to Oberst. Oberst patiently with the ball. Missed Gonzalez on the drive to the lane. Gets the rebound back down to Gonzalez for the 4-footer. Short. Amane with a nice box out there on Gonzalez. Japan lucky there. Almost turned it over. Amane with the ball on the left side. Laxton with great hands on that play. Ends up deflecting the ball from Amane. Brings the ball up on the left side. Gets it to Zerbrug up top. Zerbrug with the ball back to Laxton. Ball swung all the way around the horn. Emily Oberst.
Back to Zerbrug. And it's in.
Zerbrug having a good performance here. That's her 5th and 6th points. She's doing all of her damage from the outside. Lizzie Becker on the wing, guarding Miwako Kano. Shots off.
She will be sent to the line for 2 free throws.
And again, a good opportunity for this Japanese team to use their technique and their form to get their offense started. A lot of pressure from Team USA throughout this game. May make the arms a little heavy at the end of this first half. 1:35 left to go in the second quarter. Second shot up, no good.
Score is 49-7 for USA right now.
Emily Oberst with the ball on the right side, working with Ixel Gonzalez. Each of them have had a strong tournament. Ball reversal all the way around to Zerbrug, who skips it over the top to Oberst. One more time to Zerbrug. Great job by Oberst finding the hot hand. Zerbrug has gone now with her 7th and 8th points, and the ball movement here by Team USA is really nice. And Japan has decided to not jump these shooters. They'd rather give it up on the outside versus the inside. Not a bad decision, just better execution by USA. Amani with the ball up top for Team Japan.
Getting a cut 50, inside.
Kanako Yamasaki, great cut. Unfortunately ended up underneath the rim. Tough angle to get a shot off. As Laxton over to Zerbrug. Staying disciplined with this ball reversal. Japan, good decision that time, makes the jump. Lizzie Becker unfortunately misses that one, but that was a great two-man game there. Japan gets it over. Number 51 with the ball on the break. Kanako Yamasaki for two.
A little bit of a scramble there on the press by USA. Japan was able to get a couple of leaks out, leading to that layup opportunity.
More focus by USA on the ball instead of the chairs. Shot clock winding down. Ball kicked over to Zerbrug. They may want to jump her. She's had a hot hand from that range. No good. USA with an absolute clinic on offense. I believe this might be the highest scoring half of the tournament. We'll have our statisticians validate that here momentarily. 51 points led by the absolute scoring flurry by Rose Hollerman. Just an unbelievable performance by her.
31 points so far by Rose Hollerman. We're seeing 8 points for Lindsay Zerbrug, 6 for Abigail Duncan, 4 for Ali Ibanez, and Bailey Moody with 2 when she came in off the bench. Absolute domination, 82% shooting for Rose Hollerman, as well as 10 assists from Duncan. That really shows you that wavelength that these athletes are on by playing together and all of that training time they're getting.
Absolutely, and there's no one way to impact this game. So whether you're Rose Hollerman putting the ball in the hole or you're Abby Duncan finding the hot hand, you also saw towards the end of that half that Emily Oberst was getting great ball reversal over to Zerbrug, who got hot as well. So really a good performance there. So if you're the Japanese team, the key here, in my opinion, is that you've got to come out with a very specific goal, not for the second half, not for the third quarter, but for the first few minutes of this third. What is it that you want to do in order to get this team motivated? You have to set a micro-level goal if you're them, and in my opinion, it is to keep the threats from scoring. Someone else may score because this USA team is deep, but they've got to keep the main threats from scoring, and hopefully they're going to keep them from scoring inside. And then otherwise, you want to find whoever the hot hand is and get them going in this game. So those would be my focus areas. Vanessa, maybe you could share with the team, with the viewers out there, what have been some of the highlights for you during your trip here to Thailand. Talk a little bit about your experience over the last 10 days.
Oh, I think to begin with, like we said earlier, the people here are absolutely incredible. Just always smiling, super, super helpful, super friendly, very welcoming. I know personally for me, the food. There's been some times where I've learned to usually ask what I ate after I ate it, but there is some incredible food here as well. Things that, like you showed me 2 days ago, I think, they had fried duck eggs and sugar water. Something that was totally unheard of to me, but ended up tasting absolutely amazing. And then, of course, all of the temples and the temples that just the detail they have inside is incredible. What about for you? Is this your first time in Thailand?
No, it's not my first time in Thailand or Southeast Asia, but it is a place that I have no problem coming back to because, to your point, there's so much for this culture to offer. and so much that these athletes who are coming here and competing, as well as the staffs, get out of competing in a tournament like this. You know, at the end of the day, these programs are developing great people in addition to great athletes. And so I think getting a cultural immersion into just a beautiful country like Thailand, not just beautiful in sights, but beautiful in who they are and their character, is a great way for all of the athletes from the 8 countries competing here to become more well-rounded individuals.
I completely agree. And something I love is that the Thai people are 100% open to sharing their culture, and that's something that I've really appreciated. It's as if they welcome you to their country, and they want to show you everything they have to offer, and it's just been absolutely incredible so far.
Absolutely. So the second game, if we thought that our viewers were going to stay up and watch back-to-back, whatever time it is in your part of the world, great as a side that the IWBF is making sure that these games are live streamed across the world for people who love wheelchair basketball. If they tune in after this, talk about who they're going to see competing and talk about what they're going to see from those teams.
So in the next semifinal game we have after this, it will be Australia against GB. GB is currently the reigning world champions of the under-25 women's competition. They ended up coming away with gold last time. USA actually getting the first gold of the under-25 women's world championships, but not competing in the second one. And so far we've seen Annabelle Lindsay from Australia just absolutely dominating. A very new 4-5 to the women's game, I think to wheelchair basketball game actually. And she's been absolutely showing her power and her presence on the court. She's got great speed for a big. And Australia really using the bigs right now. They have a couple of really good mid-pointers, but Lindsay has been the one to beat, and she's often been double-teamed. And then GB, they have a very young senior women's national team. So you see some of those same players from their senior women's team on the under-25 women's team. So you have Maddie Thompson, Charlotte Moore, and Joy Hazelden, for example, that are really bringing experience and presence to that under-25 team. But they also have quite a few young and less experienced girls that are getting some great court time here as well. What are you expecting out of that game? Because I think it's going to be like the final before the final to me, I think.
I'm expecting a lot of banging. Both the GB team and the Australia team are physical teams. And you talked a bit about Annabelle Lindsay, and certainly she can bring the pace and her strength with her chair. But the GB team, a fearless team as well. And so I'm expecting to see a lot of physicality. I'm also expecting to see more balanced attacks from each of these teams. So when you think about this World Championship, there's been a couple of tiers of competition. There's some newer developing countries who are here, and then some more of our mature programs that are here. Australia and GB are two of those more developed programs. And so you can expect in more developed programs to see more people up and down the lineup and up and down the rosters contributing out on the court. So I'd expect not only that physicality, but I would also expect the coaches to use more of the talent up and down the roster.
I think so too. I think in the name of development wise, I would say they're very comparable to the USA development as well. So we're seeing Trooper use his roster up and down the bench. So I think we'll see the majority of the girls getting some playing time here. And with the Australian and GB teams, they have a great range of talent on that bench, as well as many players that they want to continue to develop. And here's the time to get them that international experience.
Yeah, one of my overall takeaways from this is that the future is bright for the great sport of women's wheelchair basketball. When you look at the level of competition that we've seen here throughout the course of this tournament, as well as the investment that these nations are making, it's great to see all of the teams that are represented here. And we know that there's many other teams and many other programs around the world who may not be here for this competition, but who are also investing. And so for yourself, Vanessa, as a young lady, what does it mean for you to see the investment by the IWBF and the various nations who are competing here? What does it mean for you personally to witness investment in women's wheelchair basketball?
I think it's incredible because we've always had slightly fewer teams than men's side, obviously. In Paralympics and World Championship, there's always been a little bit fewer teams. So to see countries, especially countries such as Thailand, South Africa, if you look in the South Americas, you have Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Peru. You have all these teams that are starting to develop women's programs. And I think that's absolutely incredible because there's women around the world with physical disabilities, and to give them the opportunity to play and represent their country at a international competition like this is an incredible experience as an athlete, and I think it's just even more promoting inclusion and accessibility throughout the world.
I agree. And for anyone who thinks that there's going to be a huge difference in the play, I'd tell them to watch the first half of this game because these athletes are getting after it outside, inside, team-oriented with pace and speed, and it's great to see. It is absolutely what I expected, and I'm excited to see what comes next for these programs.
And coming back to the game, as we see Japan take the court already, we kind of talked about it, like in the halftime, Japan really needs to focus on what they're going to do in these next couple of minutes, how they're going to set their tone coming into the second half. And I know for me personally as an athlete, I think a lot of teams can live and die by those first couple minutes in the second half. Those first couple minutes of the third quarter really can be game-changing. If a team is up and becomes too relaxed, another team can come out full charge and take advantage of that, and tables can quickly turn. I mean, there is a very large gap right now, 51-9, but I mean, Japan has dug themselves in a hole, and we're going to have to see what kind of energy they come out with, because they're also setting the tone of, if they're not able to dig themselves out of this hole, they'll have the bronze medal game to go into tomorrow.
Absolutely, and the reality is, if you're the leaders for Japan, you're talking to them about what they need to do to get going to start this third, and that they didn't come all the way to Subonpuri, Thailand to just give up in the second half of this game. And we know the Japanese culture is a fighting culture and a proud culture, so I don't expect that they will. And then if you're Coach Johnson on the American side, you're talking to your team about making sure, exactly as you said, that you come out with the same sense of urgency, because what they're going to want to do is carry over whatever success they have in this game into the next game, and they're expecting and hoping that they're going to go into the final. We'll see how the game goes, but if you're Coach Johnson, you want to have your team locked in. He's probably going to come out with a younger starting lineup for this third quarter, but he's not going to have any lower expectation whatsoever of that team.
And I think he does a really great job of making sure he keeps his expectations up for every single player, 1 through 12, whether they're coming in off the bench or starting that game. He expects them to perform as a USA basketball player, and that high expectation of every single player. And speaking of the Japanese fighting culture that we've seen, yesterday in the quarterfinals, they were facing against Germany, and Germany leading the entire game, and then Japan ending up flipping the tables in the last a minute and a half or so, end up flustering Germany and winning the game by 5. So that just shows that fighting culture of the Japanese, because Germany went on a run in the beginning. Japan was able to close up, was only down by 1 at halftime. Germany's still up in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, that's when Japan, I interviewed one of the players, and she said they played with heart. And that's exactly what they did. They are a fighting culture, and they will not stop until the final buzzer goes off after the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think we should expect exactly that. And that's my hope. That's my expectation. Japanese athletes are incredible as well. I would just like to go through the sponsor list one more time, because again, I couldn't be any more grateful as one of the organizations that have benefited from this tournament and the preparation that went into it. So I'm going to go ahead and read off these sponsor names in a grateful way because of all of their hard work and contribution. The Sport Authority of Thailand, the Nation Sports Development Fund, the Sports Association for the Disabled of Thailand under the royal patronage of His Majesty the King, the Suphanburi Province, the Sport Association of Wheelchair Basketball here in Thailand, the Football Thailand Factory Sporting Goods Company, the Boonrod Brewery Company, because at any big tournament, a brewery company is important. The Molten Company. Molten basketballs are known as synonymous throughout the world with wheelchair basketball, a great supporter of the game around the world. SIFA Company, Bangkok Mass Transit Authority, with some beautiful buses getting our athletes around on time and all athletes showing up safe. The International Wheelchair Basketball Federation, our global federation for the sport, a great group of individuals who put in a lot of their time, talent, and treasure in order to make sure that the sport of wheelchair basketball is advanced all around the world. Mature nations, developing nations, they're doing a lot of investment to make the sport better tomorrow than it is today. So we certainly appreciate everything that they do to connect all of us in this sport.
And something that I've also been really pleased with here in Thailand is the measures they've went to make things so wheelchair friendly, and the measures they're taking to continue to improve accessibility, not just for tourism and sport, but actually for the whole community. Their whole country is really going on a stretch now to really promote a better lifestyle for people with physical disabilities here.
That's absolutely right. 24 seconds here, Vanessa. Teams will change sides and change directions. USA coming out with Aslaskin, Zerbrug, Emily Oberst,
Elizabeth Becker, and Excel Gonzalez.
Yeah, she goes by Itzy. But same lineup, I believe, that ended the first half is starting here in the second. And for the Japanese squad, we've got number 51, Kanako Yamasaki, number 2, Itsumi Zaima, number 4, Amani Yanagamito, number 6, Kimi Yoshiaka, and number 10, Hotaru Tatsuoka.
And USA coming in strong. Within 10 seconds, they have a layup from Itzy Gonzalez. And as you can hear, too, something great is that both benches are really supporting their team, and that's something that's really important. Benches can often give teams huge energy surges and really help carry their players and help players stay focused. And then while you're on the bench, it's important just to stay focused on the game. So being involved in the game while on the bench means that you're ready to go when you're ready to sub in, which means there's not a level drop in play, and you're able to almost even sub up, hopefully, as you come into the game.
Yeah, when you come in off the bench as an athlete, you need to take it to the next level, not just maintain. But the worst thing is to fall off a level. Lindsay Zerbrug with a beautiful shot from the right wing, just continuing her strong performance carried over from the first half.
USA has pulled off the press. They're now playing more of a zone defense. They often kind of have this like accordion style to their defense, or almost like an inflating and deflating balloon. They often go out and pressure the shooters, but then they're really fast to recover.
Yeah, there's drills for that, jump and recover drills that these teams do, because it's got to become an instinct and muscle memory for them. Number 51 with the ball, Kanako Yamasaki brings it over to the right side. Number 10 rotates back up. That's Hotaru Tatsuoka. Shot from the right baseline, short by Kanako. Emily Oberst with the ball, bring it up on the left side. Lizzie Becker trying to keep Amani out of the play. They rotate for balance. Emily Oberst fading away. Just a little bump from the Japanese player. Throws her off on her shot. She fades back. More incidental contact than anything else. Amani Yanagimoto with the ball up at the top of the key. Swings it over to the right side to Yamasaki. Yamasaki back to Amani. Amani with the ball over to Zaima. Zaima down to the baseline.
Zerbrug getting a tip on that ball. Shot clock does expire, and it'll be USA ball down at the baseline.
Yeah, it's something that'll make Coach Johnson happy, is that although they've gone into the half-court defense instead of the pressure D, they're getting hands on the ball and continuing to get deflections and running the shot clock down for Japan. Zerbrug with the ball on the right side. Ball reversal over to Oberst on the left. pick and roll action stopped by Japan. Oberst back to Zerbrug. Zerbrug with another 2. This one's long. Oberst with the long reach over the back. Outstretched arms of the Japanese player. Ball reversal, shot clock winding down. Zerbrug with another 2. Lindsay playing very well, showing her range.
Great use of the shot clock there by USA, taking their time, getting in a lot of ball swings, using up the entire shot clock and draining it there at the end.
Absolutely. Ball swing over to the left side. Kimi Yoshiwaka with the shot, and it's good. Good sign for Japan. Getting some offense going. 11 points now for Japan. 57-11. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball movement by the U.S. Help defense comes over, but Emily Oberst takes the runner from the left side, puts it in. Tough for the Japanese, who came over with good help defense to stop the flash to the lane. Oberst puts it in.
I believe that will be a foul on Lizzie Becker, number 22 of USA.
Little aggressive with the chair, but that's okay. That's what Coach Johnson wants from her. She's a lower class player, but she's got great speed and has shown herself to be fearless in defending.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of her arms.
Yeah.
You can tell this is not her first time going hard and going fast.
Yeah, she's eating well and living right. She's in the gym clearly 6 days a week with her college program at University of Texas Arlington. Two-man game on the left side. Help comes over again. Great help defense by Japan. Emily Oberst with another runner. Does not get the shooter's bounce, but she almost got a deflection. Japan recovers the ball.
They need to get it across half. They've taken a bit of time, able to do so pretty easily.
Amani Yanagemoto with the ball on the left side. Rolls into the wing shot. Rolling maybe a little bit too fast for that shot. It goes long. Emily Oberst deliberately brings it up. Swings it over to Josie Aslaxon. To Zerbrug. To Aslaxon. Oberst with the ball again. Back to Zerbrug. No jump. Good decision that time by Japan. Japan out on a rare fast break. Kanako Yamasaki with the ball on the left side.
A little
Tries
out of
to
control.
split the defenders. Tough play. She might have wanted to wait for the secondary break instead of taking the ball left to right. But she's trying to create offense, so I can't be upset at her.
No, that was great hustle on her part. She went for the fast break, and we saw Aslaskin and Gonzalez coming in pretty quick, and Japan just losing a bit of control, losing a bit of chair control, and losing the ball. It is a USA timeout, and they will be, I believe, getting the ball at the sideline now.
Yeah, and the good news for Japan, if you're looking for it, is that the pace of scoring here in the third is under the pace that they had in the first quarter. That first quarter, USA exploded for 31 points, and USA is currently on pace for 16 here in the first 5 minutes of the third.
And seeing that USA has 31 points, I believe Hollerman has 31 points herself personally. Those were not all of the first quarter points. We had a couple of players contributing, but yeah, Hollerman does have 31 points personally. So that is pretty incredible that we're seeing from the 23-year-olds.
100% agree. She's done well, and she's getting some well-earned rest there on the bench.
So now USA did call this last time out. What do you think Trooper Johnson is wanting them to come execute?
Well, thus far in the game of the third here, they've done a good job stopping the Japanese from scoring. I think he's going to reinforce the ball movement and maybe try to talk about some type of a flash cut or getting another player involved in the scoring. Excel Gonzalez with a nice rebound off of the miss from Zerbrug. Zerbrug gets a board off the Gonzalez miss. That's called reciprocity. 3 attempts underneath for Zerbrug. She ends up getting fouled on the 3rd attempt. She should be going to the line for 2. Something we've heard a lot here throughout the course of this tournament is the South African team supporting the U.S. team. They had a scrimmage before the tournament started, and right now they're chanting, "Let's go, Lindsay, let's go." And it appears to have worked because Zerbrug puts the first of 2 in.
The South African team being one of those more developmental countries here, and they've been showing incredible attitudes, incredible energy, wanting to learn from other players here and really enjoying every second that they've had on the court.
And they've gotten better each game as well. Fast break. Up-tempo miss by number 51. Kanako Yamasaki going a little bit out of control on that one. You'd like to see her use a bounce stop instead of going in at full speed. A bounce stop will allow her to catch, gather, and shoot that ball. She is a 4.5, so typically they have the balance that they can go in and shoot it at that pace, but it didn't work out for her that time. As Laxon with the ball on the left to Gonzalez, over to Bailey Moody, just short on that one. Form looked good, did not get the touch.
And we do have a new player on the court for USA. We now have number 8.
Oh, three-pointer for Amani Yanagimoto.
I think that is the first 3 I've seen this tournament.
I saw at least one other, but it is a very low frequency shot here in the tournament. But that was a nice make for Japan. Ixel Gonzalez comes back with the 15-foot screenshot on the left side. Let's see if they look for Amani Yanagimoto again. If I'm them, I want to go back to the hot hand.
Getting a cut inside and able to finish that layup.
Number 6, Kimi Yoshioka. Secondary break for them. Japan with 5 points here in about the last 30 seconds.
Now, USA is playing a little bit under points right now. They are playing with Bailey Moody, who's a 4-0, Ixel Gonzalez, a 4-5, as well as a 1-5 and 2 1s. So I think Japan should really try to use this to attack the lower classification players and hopefully try and get some more points on the board.
Yeah, Will Trooper Johnson choose to have a timeout. Looks like he's got his starters coming back into the game. 4 players set to come in for USA.
Yes, we're about to see the return of Abby Duncan, Ali Ibanez, Lindsay Zerbrug, and Rose Hollerman.
Lizzie Becker with a great back pick. She keeps someone out of the play and then releases. Ball skip from Gonzalez over to Moody. Moody back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez with the ball on the left side. 15-footer is long. USA on a bit of a cold spell. And Japan actually doing pretty well this quarter, the back half of this quarter with their scoring. Ball swing over to the right side. Kimi Yoshioka with the miss. It was a nice screenshot. Good decision to take that shot. It just didn't go.
That will be a foul called on number 6 of Japan, Kimi Yoshioka. It will be, I think, her second personal foul. We'll see here from the table. It will be Japan's. It is her first personal foul. It will be Japan's second team foul.
USA coming in with their starting lineup. Returning to the game is Ali Ibanez. Zerbrug comes back into the game along with Duncan and Hollerman. As Laxon stays in the game. Abby Duncan, no hesitation, coming in off of the bench and shooting from the top of the key. Nice form.
Great pass there by Japan. Not able to finish the layup.
Amani Yanagimoto wishes she had that one back. She's a great scorer for Japan. Just ended up missing this one. And Abby Duncan, coast to coast for another 2. Abby Duncan comes in off the bench and puts in one from the outside and one from the inside. Abby Duncan, instant offense.
Gliding down the middle there.
Yeah. The coach from Japan is going to want them to put a chair on her or anyone going in with the ball. Outside shot from Japan. Kimi Yoshioka missed Hotaru Tatsuoka on the two-man game. Abby Duncan with another flash cut. Hollerman decides to give it over to Zerbrug. Zerbrug, more good form from the outside. She ended up missing a couple on an earlier exchange. Nice to see her go back to the same shooting form. And if you're a shooter in these games and you believe you're a scorer, it doesn't matter how many you miss. You're just going to come right back with the same form.
It's one of those things, and I think Trooper really kind of drills it into them, that you have to trust your shot. You train your shot, you have to trust your shot. If the first couple don't fall, just don't change anything. Trust your shot, trust your form.
Rose Hollerman with her 32nd and 33rd points. We've got just under 20 seconds in the half.
Man-on-man pressure here by USA. Japan able to get the ball over.
Triggers it to Amani.
That will be a foul on number 23, Abigail Duncan.
Abby Duncan felt like she was just about stationary there. Gave a look of curiosity when the ref pointed at her. Nice to see that she didn't complain. Takes the foul. The USA has a pretty handy lead here. 50-point lead's not the point to really complain to the officials. 7 seconds on the clock. Amani with the ball. 51 over to number 2. Number 2 is Izumi Zaima. Spotted up from the baseline right at the low block. Nice to see her put that one up and in.
That is going to end the third quarter for us. 68-16 for USA.
Let's see what Coach Johnson decides to do here. He's still on the sideline coaching that second lineup, trying to talk with him about what it is that he was seeing out there in a few of those sets. So we said this tournament's about development. No need for him to talk to the starters who've rattled off a very good lead here. He's taking his time to talk to those players because it's not about what they do in the fourth quarter here, is it, Vanessa? It's more about what they do tomorrow and then moving forward with this program.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to say that I don't think very few teams would be able to close a 50-point gap in 10 minutes. So I think right now both teams are really going to want to start focusing on things to work on. Japan for the bronze medal game tomorrow, and USA things that they're gonna need to focus on tomorrow for that gold medal game against the winner of Australia GB, which we will see after this game.
How have coaches motivated you if you've been on the receiving side of a blowout loss or an emotional letdown? How have coaches tried to get you back into a game?
I've definitely been on that side. And I think for me,
haven't we all?
Yes, haven't we? I think it's something that every player should experience. I think it's a great learning opportunity because you cannot give up. You have another game to go on. You have more games in your future. As a player, it's important to realize that maybe this game has slipped out from winning potential, but you can still take a learning opportunity out of it. You can still learn from this game. So I think what's going to be great is that Japan's going to have to focus on their mistakes, but also use these last 10 minutes to really focus down and hammer out some key things they really want to work on for tomorrow's game, whether that be a two-man game, help defense, working on their switches. I think they need to pick a few focus points and really, really focus on those in these next 10 minutes.
Yep. USA has Abby Balecki in the game, Bailey Moody, Josie Azlaxton, Lizzie Becker, and Ixel Gonzalez. Late jump by Ixel, but the miss on the right baseline by number 6, Kimi Yoshiaka.
And this is the lineup that was in earlier, and Trooper was talking to during that last quarter change. So let's see what they have different to offer this time around.
This may be Balecki's first minutes, but she came in with the bulk of that last lineup.
Yep.
She ended up in the game yesterday hitting her first 2 baskets of her USA career. So nice to see her contributing at that level. She's made great progress throughout this tournament. In an interview conversation I had with Coach Johnson, that's what he said.
And I think what the biggest thing is for some of these young players is they have to be open to learning still from their coaches, from their teammates. from the staff. They cannot close off and think, I've made a USA team. They've got to continue to be coachable and continue to learn and develop. And I think that's a great thing we see from her. She's constantly asking questions from what I've been told and constantly wanting to get better and learn.
Yep, fully agree. Yamasaki had a miss on the right baseline for Japan on the last transition, but it was a really good open look for the Japanese team. So you have to take away these positives. Lizzie Becker flashing to the lane. USA ball.
2 seconds left on the shot clock.
The officials are going to confer on this one. IWBF officials go through a lot of work to get here. Nice to see those officials talk it out, have a little conference among the two of them, and nice to see that the official who had a better angle go and provide the advice to the baseline official.
Yes, it was declared Japan ball. They will have a full 24 seconds.
Yoshiaka with the ball on the right wing. Oh, just in and out. Another nice look for Japan. Shots just not falling. And again, I think all the pressure defense from earlier this game paying dividends for USA. A very low percentage for the Japanese team, unlike them. Lizzie Becker with the ball. Ball swing over to Bailey Moody. 3 seconds on the clock. 2. Splash by Bailey Moody. Beautiful shot from the right wing. Shot clock winding down under 3 seconds, but she kept beautiful form, and it went in.
Great
Amani Yanagimoto from the left side says, if you can score, I can too. Beautiful shot by Amane. Sorry. As Laxon with the ball, gets it over to Bailey Moody. Bailey Moody taking it wide for USA. Too much chair contact on the wing by number 51, Kanako Yamasaki.
But as you said earlier, and as we see now, the Japanese are not letting off. They're still getting out on chairs, still hitting chairs around, and I think we can continue to see that for the last 7.5 minutes here.
Absolutely. There's never going to be a quit in a Japanese team. I've never seen it before. I doubt I ever will. As Laxon kicks it inside to Ixel Gonzalez, who's had a really strong shooting performance for the bulk of this tournament. Unfortunately for her, unable to get it go. Ball swing over to Bailey Moody again, this time on the left side. 2 seconds on the clock.
Need to get a shot off. Loses the ball just there at the last couple of seconds. Not able to get a shot off. Shot clock violation. It will be Japan ball at the baseline.
And I think what you see here is that this second lineup for USA is a much younger lineup. This is, after all, an under-25 tournament. Coach Johnson having the handy lead that he has, making sure that he continues to invest in his youth, giving them the time and opportunity to potentially make some of these mistakes. You can't coach what you don't see.
Yeah, you have Itzy Gonzalez at just 14 years old.
Bullet pass from Gonzalez, gets it up 2/3 of the court. Bailey Moody, patient with the ball, resets, takes it in, gets a 2, and Coach Johnson apparently taking credit for that, saying, I told you, if you do what I say, you will score.
And who doesn't like to be right?
Japan, unfortunately, with a couple of air balls on the last 2 plays.
USA going to have a numbers advantage here. A player down in the backcourt for
As
Japan.
Laxon, low pointer, keeps her balance. Lizzie Becker, poor pass by Bailey Moody into Lizzie Becker. She wants that one back, and Becker wishes she had it back too, because I'm sure Becker wanted to get a little layup if she could.
Japan keeping her back picked. Itzy almost coming back to help her, but I think with Lizzie's speed, she'll be able to easily recover here as she gets a bit closer.
Absolutely.
As we see.
Mani Yanagimoto with the 2-man game. Nice basket by number 27, Niina Okugawa. Her first basket of the game.
Yeah, a little bit slow with the rotation there and the help for the USA, and then Japan being able to take advantage of that.
All the one-pointers in the world enjoyed seeing the one-pointer Niina from Japan get that 2-point shot.
off the back of the rim for Itzy. Japan coming away with the rebounds, pushing the ball up the court. Great tempo. They're going to have a numbers advantage, 5-on-4. Itzy able to recover.
As Laxton jumps out on that one. Beautiful hook pass by the Japanese player, Amani. Got the ball over to the offside with a skip pass. Unfortunately, it's another shot missed for Japan. I think when the coach looks at this stat sheet and sees a shooting percentage for their team, that's going to be a big part of the story. It's not that they didn't get looks, it's that they didn't convert.
Shot clock going down. Just a bit short there for Moody.
And in my opinion, on the last few possessions for USA, there's one too many passes happening. When you get under 10 seconds, you've got to sit off of that screen and take the best shot that you get. Tough pass inside. Tried to get it into Niina Okugawa. Tough pass behind the one-pointer. They don't have the mobility to twist their body and catch that one.
No, and a bit of a scramble for the ball. USA being able to come out with it.
As Laxton with the ball, swings it to Ixel, gets
Moody.
it into Moody, misses the first one, gets the second one. Japan doesn't have the size to reach with Bailey Moody at this point, so fortunately for her, she got the rebound. Mismatch opportunity if they want it for number 7, Miwako on Lizzie Becker. She got inside, but unfortunately, Amani Yanagimoto shot it. Drive to the lane. Number 51 blows past the USA defender. Kanako Yamasaki gets fouled on the play. She'll go to the line for 2. I believe she split a pair earlier in this game.
And right now, these are good confidence shots for her. This is time for her to really focus on her form, take her time, and regain some confidence in her shot.
I would agree. She did, in fact, go 1 for 2 earlier in the game.
And she missed the first one. Let's see if she's able to convert the second.
Hopefully she can maintain that 50% average. But unfortunately, this one goes wide.
And I think, like you said earlier, with the pressure that USA has been applying this whole game, arms are getting a little fatigued. And as we saw in that last free throw, definitely, possibly the capability.
Yeah, the last few minutes here, as much as they're fighting, emotions may end up getting the best of them. As Laxton with the ball, Bailey Moody makes a great cut. Tough pass for Laxton. She skips it through Ixel Gonzalez. Here's the 10 seconds. Let's see if we can stop the trend of too many passes. Ixel Gonzalez going to want to forget the fact that she's missed her last several shots. She's got 2 points on the game, but not the percentage she was used to earlier on. Number 7 with a shot for Japan, Miwako Kano.
Japan getting some ball movement. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to need to get a shot off. It's going to be a difficult one.
Oh! Amani Yanagimoto with the contact from USA. Puts the shot up under duress and puts it in.
And that will be Japan ball. A little bit of a mistake there. Miscommunication, it seemed to be. And the ball bounces off USA chair and will be Japan ball under their own basket.
And if you're the Japanese coach, these are some of the wins that you're going to look to focus on.
And I was just about to say, if I was Japan, I would take a timeout right now, but it looks like USA did it anyways. Personally, for me, I would take the timeout to be able to draw something up and have your athletes work on an inbound play from the baseline right now and really try to focus on some key aspects that they'll need for tomorrow.
Absolutely. And Coach Johnson is trying to do the same thing. He's not just coaching the moment, he's coaching for the next opportunity. They're, at this point, with this 50-point lead, as we said, potentially talking about getting back to the basics, getting back to execution. So whosoever it is that they face tomorrow, they're going to be at a readiness level. And he's going to want them to end on a positive last 246 as opposed to potentially going in feeling like they've made a few mistakes, which is the case at this point.
And as we can look at the comparisons right now, too, you have USA taking 65 shots as compared to Japan only getting off 46 shots. So that's a pretty big difference just possession-wise and actually being able to have the opportunity to score. But then even from there, you have USA shooting at 53% and Japan only shooting at 23%. And, I mean, taking about 20 less shots and shooting 20% less, it's going to be what leads to that 50-point gap difference.
Yeah, the data tells the numbers. Number 51 makes another great cut to the paint. Kanako Yamasaki gets fouled again. She's going to look to redeem herself on this free throw line. Did not shoot the last two the way that she knows how. She's a far better shooter than those last two would indicate.
Trooper's going to use this time to pull out Moody and give her a couple of tips while still on the court.
Yamasaki missed the first. Back to the line. Gets this one up. Looked much better than the last two. Lizzie Becker with the ball. Gets it to Ixel. Bailey Moody makes the cut to the lane. Pass from Ixel. Moody up. And in and out. Moody. Missed assist opportunity for Gonzalez. That would have been a positive that she could have used about now.
And if you look at the stats right now, 21 assists for USA. That really shows how selfless this team is and how many swings they are getting.
And how many threats they have. Moody was on the fast break. The team calls for help. She pops back up, avoids the 8-second call in the back court.
We see Japan
Ixel
pressing
with
here.
the layup opportunity. It's up and it's in. Itzy Gonzalez gets the lid off of the basket for herself. Nice to see her end on a make. Under 2 minutes here in Subanpuri, Thailand. IWBF Under 25 Wheelchair Basketball World Championship. USA 76, Japan 24. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Japan. Number 51 with the ball on the left wing. Errant pass to Amani. Ixel Gonzalez.
Great hustle. She
Races
decides
it
to end
down.
up boxing out the Japanese player instead of going for the ball. I think if she went for the ball, she would have lost control and potentially have gone out of bounds with the ball, and it would have been Japan ball. So great thought process for her to quickly make that decision to end up just boxing out the Japanese player so they cannot recover the ball, and now they'll get the ball by their basket on the sideline.
And one thing she could control when the shot's not going in the way that she's used to is controlling that effort, and racing that ball down the way she did was absolutely the right thing to do. Bailey Moody misses 3 in a row from point-blank range, uncharacteristic of Bailey Moody. But I hate to say it, in a 52-point blowout, sometimes it's hard to maintain concentration. But if you want to be an elite athlete, that's exactly what you have to do. Bailey Moody with the ball, gets it to Ixel. Josie Alaskan opts not to go on the fast break. Instead, helps with the ball. Heady play by Josie Alaskan, impacting the game in many other ways. Bailey Moody with the ball. 5 seconds on the clock. Catch, gather, shoot, and score. Bailey Moody.
And as you can tell, those 3 baskets that she just missed back-to-back earlier, she was able to compose herself within seconds and come back and make that one.
And again, ending on a make, hopefully, for herself and her team. Number 6 on the baseline for Japan. Swings it up to the top. Back over to the right side. Beautiful ball movement by the Japanese team. Great execution on the passes.
Getting the offensive rebounds.
Not the best execution on the shots.
They're
Very creative and heady play by Kanako Yamasaki. Ended up having 3 defenders on her, lean to her right with all of her balance as a 4.5 classification player, and tried to put a little hook scoop in there. Very, very heady play by her. Misses at the free throw line again, but unfortunately, this has become a theme for the Japanese team, not hitting shots that they are absolutely able and capable of making. Nice to see if she can end on a make herself. And no, 10 seconds on the clock. USA is going to get it over and decide not to shoot.
They're going to kill the clock.
No shot. Classy move by the American program to not do it. USA will be the first team moving forward to the championship game of the IWBF 2019 Under-25 Wheelchair Basketball World Championship. The Japanese team will play for the bronze. But ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for Game 2, the second semifinal on the day. The matchup of Australia versus Great Britain. Going to be an incredible matchup.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Please check back momentarily, and in a little while we'll have our second link for the second game. But we appreciate the world record numbers of tuning in.